Welcome back, deep divers. Alex here, absolutely buzzing, and joining me as always is my co-pilot through the wilderness of information, Jamie.
And I'm Jamie. Seriously, Alex, you seem even more caffeinated than usual today. What's got you so revved up?
Oh, Jamie, you have no idea. We just finished sifting through this absolute goldmine of a document about Ramit Sethi's book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and honestly, my brain is doing cartwheels. It's like everything I thought I knew about personal finance just got flipped on its head.
That's the Ramit effect. He definitely doesn't pull any punches, does he? From what I've seen, his style is very direct, almost unapologetic, and that's precisely what makes his advice so impactful for so many.
Unapologetic is right. I mean, right from the jump, the praise for this guy is wild. The San Francisco Chronicle calls him part frat boy and part Silicon Valley geek with a little bit of San Francisco hipster thrown in. Lifehacker calls his site one of our favorite personal finance sites. And then there's Seth Godin, saying the easiest way to get rich is to inherit. This is the second best way, knowledge and some discipline. That's a mic drop right there.
It really is. And the Economic Times praises it for its extremely breezy style that still packs useful information for beginners. Business Insider highlights its easy-to-read, no-holds-barred language, appealing to the younger generation. It's clear he's resonating because he cuts through the typical financial jargon and speaks like a real person.
Right, but here's where my mind truly started doing backflips, Jamie. The real reader results. We're talking about people who implemented his system, and the stories are just insane. Like Steve Adcock, who with his wife retired from full-time work at ages 33 and 35 respectively, and now adventure around the country in an Airstream RV. He says they wake up excited and energetic because we control every minute of our day. 33 and 35, Jamie, that's like 2 years older than I am. What am I doing with my life?
Hold on, Alex. Don't spiral just yet. But yes, that one is particularly striking. What Steve and his wife demonstrate is the core philosophy Ramit teaches. Frugality isn't about spending nothing, but about spending extravagantly on the things we love. They clearly love adventure and travel, and they optimize their lives to achieve that. They didn't just save, they designed a life.
Yeah, but how do you even get there? Like Ariel Stewart, at 30, no 401k, $16,000 in student loans. 5 years later, at 35, no student loan debt, a healthy 401k, an IRA, an additional investment account, and now spends most of her money on what she loves, her kids, food, and ebooks. That's a complete turnaround.
Exactly, and it highlights the power of automation and intentionality. She used the IWT principles to systematically tackle debt, set up diversified investment accounts, and then free up money for her conscious spending priorities. It's not about deprivation, it's about redirection.
Oh, and Ross Fletcher, zero net worth in 2011, close to $450K now, thanks to a fully automated system. Never have to worry about money, I have enough for bills, any indulgence, and maxing out retirement accounts. This isn't just about getting rich, it's about getting peace of mind.
That's a massive point, Alex. Ramit explicitly says, rich isn't just about money. What does it mean to you? For Ross, it's peace of mind and freedom from worry. For Steve and his wife, it's adventure. For Ariel, it's investing in her family and personal growth. It's personalized.
Okay, one more. Mary Grace Gardner took the book on a Caribbean cruise, couldn't put it down, led to a $20,000 salary increase in her day job, and starting a side business earning thousands each month. Negotiated down bills, increased credit limits, grew retirement funds. She fundamentally changed her mindset about earning money. That's huge.
That's the real power, isn't it? It's not just about the mechanics of money, it's about the psychology. Ramit challenges a lot of the conventional, often guilt-inducing advice. He actually says, I won't lecture you about cutting back on lattes. Buy as many as you want. I won't try to convince you to keep a budget. I have a better method. That's pretty radical in the finance world.
Wait, so he's not saying cut out coffee, my favorite thing? So you're saying I don't need to track every penny and feel terrible about every purchase?
Exactly. His approach is no guilt, no excuses, no BS. He's proposing a 6-week program that works, focusing on what he calls conscious spending. It's about being deliberate. He wants you to spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't care about, all without a painful budget.
Wow, that's like liberating. I feel like most finance advice is all about deprivation, right? Like you have to suffer now to maybe possibly someday be comfortable.
And that's where Ramit draws a brilliant parallel, Alex. He asks, would you rather be sexy or rich? And then connects money and food. He says, when it comes to weight loss, 99.99% of us need to know only two things: eat less and exercise more. But instead, we debate minutia: keto versus paleo, apple cider vinegar, trans fats. We obsess over the tiny details while ignoring the big wins.
Oh, I see where this is going. Like with money, we debate interest rates on savings accounts, or this year's hottest stock, or whether to use a specific credit card for points when we haven't even opened a 401k or automated our savings.
Precisely. He lays it out. When it comes to food, we don't track calorie intake, we eat more than we know. With personal finance, we don't track spending, we spend more than we realize. We debate minutia, value anecdotal advice, and listen to friends or TV talking heads instead of reading a few good personal finance books. It's about focusing on the big levers that actually move the needle.
This is so good because it explains so much of the paralysis people feel. There's so much information out there, so many conflicting opinions. It's like, where do I even start? He calls it infoglut and decision paralysis. That's me, 100%.
And he brings in Barry Schwartz's The Paradox of Choice, showing that as the number of mutual funds in a 401k plan goes up, the likelihood that employees will choose any fund goes down, or they choose ultra-conservative options. Too much choice leads to doing nothing, which is often the worst choice you can make.
Okay, so then he drops this chart on us comparing Smart Sally and Dumb Dan, and it's mind-blowing. Smart Sally invests $200 a month from age 35 to 45, just 10 years, and then never touches it again. By age 65, she has over $181,000. Dumb Dan is too preoccupied, waits until 45, then invests $200 a month for 20 years until 65. He invested for twice as long as Sally, contributed twice as much, but ends up with only $118,000. That's $60,000 less. How is that even possible?
That, Alex, is the magic of compound interest and the power of starting early. Even though Smart Sally invested for a shorter period, her money had an extra decade to grow and compound on itself, earning returns on its returns. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. The longer it rolls, the faster it grows, exponentially. Dumb Dan's snowballs started rolling later, so it never caught up, even with double the effort. It's the single most important thing: start early.
The best time to start investing was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. I feel that in my soul. No more excuses. But then he talks about other excuses, like the rise of victim culture.
That's a pretty strong statement.
It is, and it's a controversial but crucial point Ramit makes. He calls out people who say things like, lol, invest, I can't even save enough for pizza, or maybe if baby boomers hadn't ruined it for all of us. He argues that people actually compete to see who's the bigger victim, and that this mindset absolves them from taking personal responsibility.
He's pretty harsh. I'm offended at you being offended, and at the stupidity of this entire victim culture. Wow. But then he gives that example of the Save $1,000 in 30 Days challenge. And some people were legitimately offended, saying it was impossible for them.
Right, and Ramit's point is that while socioeconomic factors and luck play a role, you have to focus on what you can control. He's not denying external challenges, but he's saying that complaining and blaming others doesn't change your situation. He uses that challenge to illustrate how cynics don't want results. They want an excuse not to take action, and that costs them dearly over time.
So instead of saying, I can't save $1,000, what if you said, can I save $500 or $200? It's about taking any step, not the perfect step.
Precisely. His core message is the 85% solution. Getting started is more important than becoming an expert. You don't need to know everything to begin. And speaking of building, Ramit is incredibly candid in the updated edition about what he calls his 3 mistakes from the first edition.
Oh, this is great. I love when experts admit they messed up. What were they?
His first mistake was not covering the emotions around money, what he calls invisible money scripts. These are messages you absorb from your parents and society, things like, you're throwing your money away on rent, or we don't talk about money in this house, or credit cards are a scam. These guide your decisions for decades without you even knowing they're there.
Wait, invisible money scripts? So you're saying I might have these subconscious beliefs about money that are holding me back and I don't even know they're there?
Exactly. He realized you can give people all the perfect word-for-word scripts to negotiate fees or the exact asset allocation for investing, but if they don't tackle these deeply ingrained, often negative beliefs about money, none of the practical advice matters. It's the psychological bedrock.
That makes so much sense. It's like trying to build a house on quicksand. You need a solid foundation first. What was his second mistake?
Being too overbearing. In the original book, he did talk about different definitions of a rich life, but he didn't fully acknowledge that people might take different routes to get there. Some might save 10% and take the traditional path, while others might save 50% and aim for FIRE, financial independence, retire early, much faster. He now emphasizes that you choose your rich life, and you also choose how you get there, and he provides examples